Welcome to the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan. Terry, not the results you wanted Saturday, but there are some positives to look at from that game.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, our goal each and every week is to win a football game, and we didn't get it done this past weekend. Obviously saw a great opponent in Wisconsin, Whitewater, very well-coached football team. But there were some positives. As I stated to our young men, I thought our second half, we had a lot more fight in us. We competed. We outscored them in the second half. I mean, you know, we're not about moral victories or anything like that. We want to win football games, but certainly there was a positive because when you're down 24-0 at the half, you know, you can go south in a hurry, but that speaks volumes for our young men and the character that they have and the pride that they have in our program to continue to compete and play at a high level against probably one of the top teams in the country.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and look at those first half highlights. Very fast.
Yeah, this, no question about it. I mean, hey, it's great to see our sideline well represented. Here we come out before the anthem, and our guys we're excited for this opportunity. I mean, great facility. It's a D1 facility, great atmosphere. We ended up kicking in the end zone to start it off, and then we came out a little midline, and we just couldn't get much going offensively, and really all day. I mean, we went 3-0 here. They defended us really well, and I got to give credit to their defensive staff. You know, they kept mixing up things too. They never were in the same spot. That was a great punt by Augsburg. Augsburg had a great day punting the football. The only problem with that is we don't want them punting 10 times. You know, our D's competed all day, and I'm really proud of their effort. And you look at some of the scores that they had in the first half. There were a couple big plays that put us down. But here's another punt, and this is the one that kind of hurt us for their first score. This game in 60 yards, and they did a very nice job at blocking our bullets. Our bullets were having a tough time getting down the field, and consequently what ends up happening is that result. A few plays later, they're in the end zone. But, you know, we gave our defense a short field, and that you can't do that in special teams, and that was a huge part of the game. They're up 7-0, and kickoff to us again. And we had Tommy Pavic fair catch that. We got the ball back out to the 25-yard line. I mean, they were suffocating. We didn't do a very good job on the perimeter with our blocking. We weren't very physical up front, which we need to get better at that. And our punt team was out, and Berge gets off another boomer. I think he had a 55-yarder on the day, and here was a great job at getting down the field and getting the guy out of bounds.
There's some pretty talented running backs.
They did, and it was running back by committee. I mean, they just kept coming with talent. And you know, 3-year starter and their quarterback, he was a broken coverage that gave them their second touchdown. So you think about their 3 scores. You know, one comes off a punt return, a 60-yard punt return. One comes off a broken coverage. And then their 21st score was a tipped back ball to a guy in the end zone that was well defended by Will Burning. And then right before half, you know, for us, we needed to have some sort of a spark, so we weren't going to take a knee, and we try a hook and ladder that if it was successful, we might have scored on it. But they ended up picking up the fumble and running it back and getting 3 more points. So all 24 points, you know, we're not great by any means, if that makes any sense at all. I mean, we certainly, I thought, defended them, you know, pretty decently. We just didn't get nothing going offensively. There's Ryan Cihak with a catch, and he ended up getting a touchdown pass in the second half, which was huge for us to get on the board. Blake scrambling. He had pressure on him a lot. You know, our guys were battling and fighting, and they defended us really, really well. Here's another punt by Alex Berg, and almost Jordan Spaeth almost did a great job at getting that back into play and giving them get the ball on inside the 5-yard line. That would have been nice.
A couple of positives on defense here.
Oh, great pressure there by our inside guys. It was awesome to see, and we got the ball back again, and you know, trying to get some positive yards, trying to find something in our grab bag of offense and see what would work. And it was just one of those days, you know.
Yeah.
Got good pressure again, and I thought our guys did a great job, and especially in the second half. Right before the half, you know, they're marching down the field, and that's where they end up getting their third score on the day. Watch this play right here. He strips the ball, goes off his knee, and we pick it off. I mean, that's a highlight reel play right there. I mean, you don't see that better on Sundays, I'll tell you that. Aaron Arndt did a great job with that. Here's one of our longer runs of the day. Got the pitch out. We did a nice job of blocking on the perimeter. Riley Sheridan took it around the edge for about a 15-yard gain. Another great punt that goes into the end zone, and they get the ball at the 25-yard line. Nice play, you know, getting some pressure on him. Here's the touchdown. I mean, well played by Will Burning. The kid just tipped it back to himself, and that's their 21st point. Now there's 19.3 seconds left, and you know, he could certainly take a knee, but at this point, I made the decision that we're going to try to score some points, you know, and we want to use these non-conference games as learning experiences, and there we tried to pitch it back to Riley Sheridan and just didn't quite get it, but I liked the hustle to keep them out of the end zone, end up getting 3 to put themselves up 24-0 at halftime.
Yeah. So what was the message going into the locker room?
You know, I think you know, the biggest thing is to come out second half and compete. I mean, you've got 30 minutes to make a difference and to be better and to continue to, you know, to continue to be the best that we can be. Now, defensively, you know, I thought we defended them really well. Again, look at their scores. Their first score came off a 60-yard punt return, okay? So we needed to be better in special teams. Their second score was just the blown coverage, all right? Their third score was the tip back, and then we tried to get some points on the board and through our hook and ladder, which we've had a lot of success over the years on, and I actually thought we had a lane if we were able to get the pitch back to Riley Sheridan. We had a lane down the sideline that we could have scored on that. The kid scoops and scores, and then they get a field goal out of it. So, you know, defensively, we didn't need to change a whole lot. Just keep going out and give great effort. Offensively, you know, we were trying some things to get some success, to try to find some success in the second half. And the bottom line is we needed to be more physical and compete and continue to compete, and our kids did that.
Okay. When we return, we'll take a look at those second half highlights. Welcome back to the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan. I'm Norman Bell. Second half brought a lot of positives to the day.
Absolutely, you know, and that's the one message, like I said earlier in the show here, Norm, that I said to the guys afterwards. I was proud of their effort in the second half, and that's certainly something that we can kind of springboard into our MIAC season. So it was good to see our effort. And again, you know, there's a lot of teams that would have just gone south, but not this football team. We got too much pride and too much character within our walls to not come out that second half and play hard for 30 minutes.
Okay, we're going to take a look at those highlights.
So we're kicking off to them, and Klaus did a nice job. We defended it pretty well. Nice play by Bird, I believe that came in there off his heels, and defensively we just kept getting after it. All right, and here's got him to punt, and Birdie's on the field punting again. Like I said, it's a long day when you're going 9-10 different punts, and
that one was actually running into the roughing the kicker.
Roughing the kicker, so got the ball back. Dane Rinquist, I thought, had a pretty decent day. He worked hard, and And we're going to see one of our inside run plays of him, I'm sure, here in the second half. That got us down to about the 3-yard line. And our bullets, we got to do a better job with our bullets on our punt team, and we can't give up that many yards. There's another pick by Will Burning. That's his second on the year. Gave us a great life and spark, and I love the enthusiasm with our defense right there. That's pretty exciting. Got Blake out of the pocket. Big, strong athlete, finds Kevin Marzoff. And then here's Dane, and just working hard. We're just trying to find something that we can hang a hat on. And here's a nice little touchdown pass to Ryan Cihak, his second on the year, and I believe Blake's third. And so we had good protection. We tried to go for 2, and we're just a little wide with our pass out to Logan Hatfield. So it's 24-6 with about 1:35 left in the third quarter. Another pick, and Jake Erholtz gets his second pick on the season too. So our D's do another great job. They got excited and we're coming off the field. Now our O's are back on and trying to find some life. Here's a little halfback pass, and Mad Bye throws it to Kevin Marzoff. We get down to about the 26-yard line. Next play, got Dane Ringquist. Doesn't just get tripped up there at the last second. I bet he scores. We're on the 3-yard line, and unfortunately we miss a block that pressures us on the lead option, and they recover it. And when we're in the red zone, that's a pride zone for us. We want 100% of scores, and we didn't finish, and we need to finish those, and that cuts it. We get 2 off of that. We score a touchdown there and get a 2-point conversion. Now it's 24-14, and there's still life for us.
When we return, we'll talk to strength and conditioning coach Brandon Toothaker.
Knees out, Tony. Knees out. Let's go.
We're now joined by strength and conditioning coach Brandon Toothaker. Brandon, thanks for joining the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from and where you went to school, what got you interested in strength and conditioning.
Yep. From a small town called Cimarron, Kansas, about 2,000 people. Then I got started strength and conditioning, like lifting weights, freshman year of high school. I wrestled and played tennis freshman year when I went and got my physical. I only weighed 85 pounds. Like, oh,
wow.
I should probably try to get a little bit stronger here. Then that's how I got into, strength and conditioning was just when I started lifting weights in high school. So, getting stronger helped me with my wrestling and different sports, and it just kind of piqued my interest from there.
Okay, now Emporia State
Yep.
for undergrad and
Emporia
Northern Iowa for
Right.
grad school.
Yep, Emporia State undergrad. I majored in health promotion. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went to college, but I just knew I was interested in fitness, health-related activities. So they had the major health promotion about half geared towards exercise science, the other half focused more on corporate wellness.
Okay.
I figured out pretty quick I did not like the corporate wellness type, but I did like all my exercise science classes.
Okay.
Then in one class, kinesiology, did a project. That's when I came across the NSCA, National Strength and Conditioning Association website. And that's when I found out strength and conditioning was an actual job. Small town Kansas, we didn't have a strength coach. Emporia State didn't either. They were Division II, so football coach ran football program, track coach, track program. So once I found out you could actually be a strength and conditioning coach in college, that was an actual profession. Like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. So then from there, and my first practicum with the throws coach at Emporia State, it was John Gallagher.
Okay.
Then I was junior year. After junior year, did an internship in Chicago, at a private place. Went and finished school. Then I went to grad school at Northern Iowa.
Okay. Now at Northern Iowa, did you work with the football team at all? In strength and conditioning?
Main sport I worked with was volleyball. For the 2 years, I was always with volleyball. Then depending on my class schedule and just how lifting times worked, I kind of shuffled around between spending summers with football and then a little bit women's basketball, men's basketball, kind of depending on lifting schedule and class schedule for my classes.
Okay. A lot of people, some people may not even see you on campus. I know you even work here, really, other than the athletes. But what are some of tell me a little bit about the importance of strength and conditioning in all aspects of sports.
Oh, yeah. Strength is the foundation for everything. So if you need to run fast, jump high, if you're can't produce force, you can't move. If you can't produce force quickly, you can't move quickly. So that's their goal is, one, get a good base strength level, and then after that, learn how to apply that force quickly. That's the main focus of what we work on with our athletes, regardless of sport. Always get stronger, get more explosive.
Yeah. Now with football, what are some of the things you look for in training a football player?
Well, athleticism is big. Now we're at our program's great. Coach Ryan and all the coaches always big emphasis on our strength program. So now it's freshmen come in, teach them the lifts, they can perform everything correctly. Then from there, get a base level strength up. Then off season, especially that first year, it's a lot of get faster. So get strong, get fast. That's kind of our goal here. So athleticism, just being able to stop, start quickly, be explosive. That's main things that I look for and try to improve our athletes.
Okay, and what are some of the teams you're working with here on campus?
It's changed a little bit every year depending on our assistant coach's schedule. This year I've got football, men's and women's hockey, baseball, softball, and track and field.
So you're pretty busy.
Yeah, we stay busy.
Yep. All right. And so talk a little bit about some of the workouts you have the guys doing, like and the difference between, I guess, in-season workouts and out-of-season workouts.
In season, our varsity guys, they'll lift twice a week. So Sundays are off day. So Monday morning they'll come in. It's kind of moderate heavy weights. Typically we'll start with some type of an Olympic lift, so snatch, clean, some variation, some type of lower body strength lift, squat, lunge, split squats, and an upper body push, so bench press, military press, incline bench press, an upper body pull, either a pull up or a row variation, and then just some single joint auxiliary lifts. Wednesday, very similar, just change the exercises in a little bit heavier weight on Wednesdays. Freshmen, they're going 3 days a week, just so we can try to get them more developed. They go Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and with them initially, first 2-3 weeks are a lot of just teaching, learn how to squat correctly, how to clean, how to snatch. Then once they get decent technique, it's slowly progressing. The weight goes up, reps go down. Then we'll test them here in a few weeks on their clean, squat, and bench. Then we'll get a structured program they can follow after that. Off season, we go 4 or 5 days a week. Typically Monday, Tuesday, heavier lifts. Wednesday, speed day. Thursday, Friday, focus on the lifts also.
Okay. Well, you do a really good job, man. It's nice to see a kid come in as a freshman and watch his body, transform throughout the years. A couple of offensive linemen came in, a little heavier, and to see their bodies kind of tone up and start to look like real college offensive linemen. I think you do a great job.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for joining me.
Yep.
That's Brandon Toothaker. We're now joined by senior wide receiver Ryan Cihak. Ryan, thanks for joining me, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, huh?
Yep, God's country.
I hear you. You like to spend a lot of time on the lake?
Yep, I have a cabin on a lake, and then I also have a house on a lake. So.
Okay. So the Lakers, Heart of Lakes Conference, MVP, All-Star game participant, and 2-time All-Conference in football, basketball, and baseball. When did you go to school?
I went to school. I graduated in 2015.
That was a joke.
Oh.
I'm saying you do. I mean, you're playing all these sports, man, and you're excelling in all of them. Like that had to be tough to be able to balance all 3 sports and school.
Yeah, I mean it was tough, but I mean you find time for things that you love doing.
Okay. Why Concordia?
Well, both of my cousins came here, played under Coach Horan, and they just absolutely loved it. And if I was going to go play college football anywhere else, I would have gotten an earful from my cousins. So I knew I wanted to be a Cobber football player.
And what's the academic environment like around here? It's tough to be a student athlete, but then you're doing it at a school like Concordia, which is very, very, very rigorous academic environment.
Right. Our professors hold us accountable, and so do our coaches, because coaches always say school comes first, and then and then football comes, and it shows like during our practices some of us are showing up late because we have class until 3:50 or 4:20, and the coaches are completely fine with it as long as it's academic. Yeah.
As long as it involves classes.
Yeah.
I got that. No. So elementary education.
Right.
You want to teach elementary school? You want to coach or?
I would have an interest in coaching, but first things first, I want to get a teaching job. I just love kids, and my mom's a elementary school teacher, so I know what are the things that she needs to do, and I just love doing it too.
Okay. Your favorite food is sushi, and your favorite restaurant is Zorba's. Do they have sushi at Zorba's?
No, they don't have sushi at Zorba's, but there's a lot of good places in town that have sushi, and I never really liked sushi until I came here.
Okay. So what do you like? What's your favorite meal at Zorba's?
It's called the Loudon. It's a peanut butter pizza with jalapenos on it.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't sound great, but it's actually really good.
What's it called again?
The Loudon.
The Loudon. Okay, and peanut butter and jalapenos, and that's good.
Yeah, try it if you go to Zorba's.
No, thank you. I'll trust your word for it. Florida-Georgia line. A little country music, huh?
Yep, I'm a big country music guy.
Really? Okay, and Blue Mountain State. I've seen that show. I've seen people talk about it. Is it really funny?
It is funny, and there's a lot of college football in it, but I mean, just the lifestyle of those college football players I don't really associate myself with, but just like it's a funny show. It involves football, so I can't go wrong.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little football here. You seem to be coming into your own as a receiver here your senior year. 2 touchdowns so far in the season. You were the #1 target last Saturday, looks like, against Whitewater, 5 catches. What is it? Something that you've just kind of picked up over time? You've been working hard at being a better receiver. How has things changed for you from your freshman to senior year?
Well, freshman year I came in at a wide receiver, and then sophomore I switched to a slot back, and I actually played a bunch. I didn't really get any passes thrown my way, but I got to carry the ball, which helped me as a receiver. Then last year I switched back to receiver, and I got a lot of playing experience and got comfortable catching the ball, running routes, all that kind of stuff. And then this last year I switched back to slot back, but I'm more of a passing threat. I know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at and what I need to improve on. And there's slot backs that are better than me in areas, and I'm okay with that because I'm comfortable with what I do well and what I don't do well.
Well, you're doing a really good job this season at receiver.
Thank you, Norm.
Thank you for joining me, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. That was senior wide receiver Ryan Cihak. Hit the road again this week, headed to Augsburg.
Yeah, Augsburg, not an easy place to play. You know, they call it the cage, and it's the cage for a reason. and these guys are 2-0 right now, so they're coming off of 2 games where, you know, they had to have some things happen for them in the end of those games, and they found ways to do it. They're athletic. They're always athletic. They're going to work hard. This is the second season. You know, we talked to our team about the first season being non-conference, and the sole purpose of a non-conference schedule is to prepare you for the league, and the league's what we play for. So we're not going to let Whitewater beat us twice. We got to put it behind us, and now we move to Augsburg and wipe the records clean. Everybody's 0-0 right now in the MIAC play, and we happen to be on the road, and that's all right. We like going on the road, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of fight our team has here.
Yeah. Well, the Cobbers hit the road this Saturday for a 1 o'clock kickoff with Augsburg. This has been the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan.
Saw the way to rock and roll.